All right. Moore is a special adult rehabilitation facility, and they do some amazing work. And each and every year, we get a chance to talk about one of our success stories. So please welcome to the stage with a rousing round of applause, and I want to hear from everybody, the young lady behind it all, Susie Davies!
Thank you. Come on up. All right, so good evening. It is such an honor to introduce to you, where am I going? Right here. All right, I'm good. Okay, to introduce to you Rick Janis, AKA Chillack, right? Okay. He is Moore's 2024 success story. And his extraordinary mentor and job coach, David Blonsky. Rick came to Moore via an internship with Golden Sierra, a job training agency specializing in assisting young people in getting work experience to get their careers started in a real business environment. Moore has recruited several employees to this process, and in the last 3 years, we have had 4 success stories. Rick, you received your bachelor's degree in commercial music from what university?
William Jessup University.
Yeah. I'm sure Rick remembers when he initially came to Moore, we had assumed that he would assist us in our media arts room with sound recording. And then he shared with us that the music he had created. How many songs had you created at that time?
10 plus.
You know how many he had created. How many, David?
More like 20 or 30 plus.
Yeah, that's right. It soon became apparent that Rick knew more about creating music and sound recording than anyone at Moore could understand, right? We never had an intern quite like Rick. What he was saying and doing was way over our heads. His technical expertise and sophistication were astounding. When we asked you what your goals were, what did you tell us, Rick?
I wanted to be a producing artist.
Yes, he did. He wanted to be a producing artist.
But the 2 main goals were to, first off, create a solo catalog, as well as a first album collaborating with a singing artist.
Pretty big goals, right? Pretty big dreams. And so we said, how are we going to help him do this? But let's back up just a little bit. When you were a young boy and your Uncle Rick surprised you with your first keyboard, how was Uncle Rick an influence in your music?
Every way he influenced me, from the composition style to the production style, and much, much more.
And I understand he continues to be a major influence on your musical composition still today, right?
Yes,
Okay.
and he's always been, and always will be.
There are 2 people here tonight who have been your guiding light and stars in your life. Your descriptive word about them is fabulous. Who are they?
Elizabeth, my mom and dad, who are named Elizabeth and John Janis, respectively.
And I know, you know that they've been very strong advocates to help people understand your true talent and nature. Please share with us how Mom and Dad have helped you.
They helped me in my heavy maturity, as well as Mom, Dad especially, has given me the input on my compositions.
Great. Rick's admiration for his father and mother are the highest of the highest regard, and he strives to do the best to follow their lead. Elizabeth and John, Janice, where are you? Will you please stand up? Where's Elizabeth and John? Right there. Now, David, I hope you weren't worrying, but now it's your turn. And I didn't forget you, because you are the miracle worker and mentor that has added to the success part of this story. This guy, Mr. David Blonsky, a humble man who is a multi-talented artist, craftsman, and musician. David, will you share with our audience briefly the highlights of your story and your life in Garden Valley today?
Sure. Much like Rick, I started with music at a very young age, but I didn't start my music career until I was 30. It was 1983 when my mentor invited me to come into a recording studio and record my first album. And I recorded 2 albums with my mentor in the early 80s. And I established my own label and recording studio, Timeless Productions, in Garden Valley in 1986. And since that time, I have produced 25 albums of original music, easy listening, new age environmental themes, and then later got into world music. My most recent album that I recorded with a local harp player from Lake Tahoe, Ann Ruse, was actually submitted to the Grammys for consideration. Thank you, thank you. And even though I didn't get a nomination, it did get me an invitation to join the Recording Academy. So I am currently a voting member of the Recording Academy and was able to vote in the Grammys this last year. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think that covers it.
I think that
okay.
covers it.
When David Blonsky's name was mentioned to Rick, he already knew who he was, didn't you? And you were familiar with one of his tunes. What was that?
Land of the Midnight Sun.
You got it. When they met for the first time, we knew David would be the perfect job coach and mentor for Rick. It was like 2 friends who spoke the same language finally found each other. Rick immediately started sharing with David an analysis of his music. David, what did you think of Rick when you first met him?
At the first meeting with Rick, I was pretty much completely blown away. Not only did he know the instrumentation that I used in an album that was recorded back in the mid-'80s, he was completely familiar with the structure of the music, and I was very, very impressed with this young man. And
in fact, Rick, what he said to me was he thought you were brilliant.
And I am.
Yes, you got it right. Woo-hoo. So David was hired by Moore as a consultant in December 2023 and began his work with Rick by having him focus on 10 of his best musical creations to produce his first album titled
Chillack Volume 1.
That's right. Together, they edited, mixed, and mastered Rick's music. The resulting album is truly unique and combines elements of Rick's favorite musical genres, including down-tempo jazz, jazz fusion, and smooth jazz. So, David, just share with us how you have supported Rick with the business side of the music industry.
Well, besides trying to get him to be able to critically listen to his tunes and improve the mixing and mastering process, we've also got his first 10 songs written, registered with the United States Copyright Office, so he's a copywritten artist. We've signed him up with ASCAP, a professional recordings rights organization, so that he can get royalties from his work when his music is used. So he's registered as both a songwriter and a publisher, so that we will be able to self-release his first album under his published label name, Chill Prize Entertainment. And we've actually...
So at this point, Rick is an official, independent producing artist, right?
That is correct.
Yep.
Yeah. So many of you in this room have heard me when I introduce myself in places that I've been, that at More we make dreams come true, right? So here's a dream we made come true, right, Rick?
Correct.
So tonight, for the first time, we have a video of one of the songs on Rick's first CD. What's the song, Rick?
Plains of Doria.
Here we go. Yes. Wasn't that great? That's all for you, Rick. We are grateful to David Yap and Dylan McMahon, who were instrumental in producing this video. Congratulations. David Blonsky has created, 50 special pre-release CDs for people here tonight to have the opportunity to support Rick for a donation of $15 or more, which will help fund his first commercial release of his CD and make digital distribution available.
And Rick has signed all of these CDs as well, and it's a limited edition. David Yap is still working and helping us work the final packaging together, so this album will be officially released, we're hoping by the end of June, but you can tonight get this special pre-release copy.
Wow, autographed copy!
In conclusion, the importance of tonight's reveal is to stop and take a moment to appreciate and celebrate the coming together of two men who in just 4 months has given one man his dream to shine and show the local community the brilliance that lies within him. And another man, an inspiration for continuing in his journey of his own. Thank you for listening. And Scott, I apologize, I know we went long with this presentation tonight.
This is your event, Susie, so whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear for David and Rick. I'm sorry, Chillack. Chillack. And don't miss out on that opportunity to get an autographed copy right over at this table and make a donation. It'll help Rick and David get that package out and professionally released and produced. But I think it was an incredible piece of music. One last time, let's hear it for the man, our success story, Rick, and his mentor, David.